going to go over the process for adding the signature tags to each of these documents. In this example, it's just going to be editable documents that the landlord has the ability to edit directly. So of course you go into admin, manage documents. In this case, we're going to go to zero tolerance for criminal activity. Hit edit settings. And now we're going to go to continue. And now we get to edit the actual text that appears in the document. So what I do to start this process is I zoom in. And this really helps me see exactly what's going on. So I want to be able to see these selections at the top as well as see this text. Now what I have here is I have a guide on my other screen here, so I can copy and paste these tags. I'm using the Mac, so it's Command C, copy, Command V for paste. So you can copy and paste these tags from this Confluence document right into the text editor here. So I zoom in, and what I do is I highlight the exact line, which actually is an underline, which is a it's the same button as dash. With the Mac, you have to do Command, and then it's right next to the 0 on your keyboard. But in this case, we don't use that underline. So I'm going to delete the underline, or maybe it would be called an underscore. And I'm going to paste in, this. Okay, so here it's the tenant signature. I'm going to paste in, which is signer number 2. I'm going to copy that. And we're going to paste that right in here. And then what we want to do is we want to highlight this. And we want to change it to size 8. And we want to make the font size white so you don't see it. And then we want to underline it. Now at this point, I'm going to click the right arrow on my keyboard, which will bring my cursor here. And then I'm going to click the left arrow on my keyboard, which will bring me right here. From here, all I do is press the space bar until this gets to be pretty much matches the width or the length of the line underneath it. So I'm looking at the tenant signature below, and that's about the right length. And that line is done for signature. I'm going to do the same thing for the date. Here, I'm going to just highlight what's here. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to copy the date to my clipboard. I'm going to paste it right in here. I'm going to highlight that, paste it text. I'm going to change the size to 8. I'm going to change the color to white, and then I'm going to underline it. I'm going to press the right arrow on my keyboard, and then the left arrow on my keyboard, and then the space bar to get it to be the correct length. And that's it. Now, this next line has no signature. So it's very important that the lines match. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go to size 8. I'm going to go to underline. I don't need to change the text color here because I'm not going to use text. I'm just going to press the space bar. So it's basically a space with an underline. And I'm going to make this the same length as above. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to do the date. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to do size 8, underline, and then space. And that looks about right. Now what I do is, I still have to do the tenant signatures, but in order to see if these lines, how closely they align, I want to make sure the date is really directly underneath and the signature lines end at the same place, as well as the date lines end at the same place. So what I do to verify that is I look at my window and I drag it over. And maybe I want to try to take one off of this. Really could go either way. It's very close. Maybe I'll leave it. And then I look at the date. Well, the date's definitely off. The D, you can see more of the D here than you can here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a space, and that's going to be too far. Then I'm going to hold the shift, I go back one, I'm going to make this size 8. Oh, still smaller. So let's see, so maybe we'll do this one size 8. And it's bringing the D back, that's pretty close. This is really getting picky. And let's see if there's lines in the same place. They do. So this date line end at the same place. So that's good. So both these lines are all set. We're just going to do the tenant line. We're going to delete. We're going to copy. Oh, this is all tenant. I'm sorry, there's no landlord here. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to copy and paste this. The last one I had a landlord line. And that's it. Copy and paste. Boom. You're done. I do Command 0 to bring it back to not zoomed in. I hit Create Document. I just select anything here and continue. And that one's done. Oh, also, when you're zoomed in, if you like, it's also very good. You can kind of double check your work here. You double check your work by highlighting a line. So you can see here, zoom in. You want to see this, this right bracket at the end of the signature line. And it's actually nice that that's not underlined because that creates like another white gap, broken line here. And you can also see that white bracket, if you look really close, there's a white bracket here at the end, again, which is not underlined. So you want to just look closely at this signature. You want it to be signature 1 here with a lot of space and then the bracket. And same thing here. You cannot have a space between the signer and the 1. That will kind of break it, if you will. You just need to make sure your tags are formatted correctly. You know, you want the gap between the 2 and the bracket and no gap in here. It's just a mistake that I made one time. And you can see the lines look semi-normal having the tag there. They're not quite perfect, but actually if they're printed without using eSign, they actually appear straight across. You actually do not see these white gaps. This is the only place where you see some white gaps. All right, that's my video. Thank you so much.